Hey, hello YouTube, hello X, hello Jackson. What's up, Jackson? You want to? What's up, buddy? Let me see you. Let me see you, buddy. I have a treat for you somewhere. I think we ate it already. I think we ate it. All right, Jackson, quit distracting me. Quit distracting me. What are you doing? All right, guys. Let's look at the market. See what the market did. Jackson, you have a bowl of dog food over there. I guess we could start with stock tools since it's up. I'm flabbergasted. I hit refresh and everything. BITX is number one on the high yield board. I mean, which is amazing. MST, it's equally amazing, is number two. MSTW, not so amazing, but HOOW, TSLW, PLTW, HOOY. Anyway, there's some good ones here, and this is just based on 1 day change, and I'm glad to see that. All right, so the market rallied into the close, and it saved. Bitcoin rallied, and it saved that thing. That thing trades IBIT, and they don't trade IBIT at night, and it gapped up, so they don't sell options till during the day, and it went up, but it went kind of sideways to up. But all of the gain at night, they gain that in NAV, unencumbered by options, is the whole idea of the way that BITX. It's the T SPY strategy, but applied to Bitcoin. Anyway, as long as the IBIT chart goes up, the IBIT chart doesn't look great, to tell you the truth. I mean, it looks like it's up 1 day, but it mainly looks like it's been getting murdered. I mean, come on, Bitcoin. Anyway, whatever. What are we gonna do, right? I mean, Bitcoin itself is definitely bouncing and looking way better than it was. Than it was just recently, or definitely than it was back here. Anyway, all right, so that's Bitcoin. Let's look at the SPY. SPY also bounced into the close. As did the Qs. Good job. Qs held a key trend line that I've been looking at for whatever that's worth. I mean, nothing, but it's just a trend line that goes way back. That'd be awesome if it held, and it has. So hopefully this time next week it's at all-time highs. I don't know. That's probably overly optimistic, but hopefully it goes back that direction. Hopefully it goes back that direction. Okay, so let me show you what else I have. The diversified divas. So it really helped these. It really helped these out also. I guess we could just look at those this way. So here's blocks. I mean, this thing still, it's going to be a long road back. But anyway, finished up 1.5% today. Here is ULTI from Rex. It finished flat on the day. I mean, up 10 cents. I mean, but I mean, it's better than finishing down. K yield. Let's look at K yield from Curve. You can see this one's further off its recent lows just on a chart basis. And this one was up 50 cents today. Good job, Curve. And then ULTY. This one was up, looks like the most of any of them, 65 cents. Well, I don't know. I forgot what was Blocks up. Blocks is probably up the most of any. Yeah, Blocks is up the most of any of them. But anyway, all right. So, but we can look at that here. So here's all those changes right here in graphical form. We can also look at the understudies. Look at WPay had a good day, up more than 1%. LFGY was up almost 1%. This is on a day the SPY was down. Qs were up, but basically the market really didn't move that much. All of them, or a lot of them, still have a long way to go. Anyway, all right, so let's check this out. Let's check the index buffer report. We haven't checked it out in a while, but feed and 5E, check this out. Yep, it never fails. How is feed up the most today? But it is. I mean, 5E second up the most, but it never fails. Anyway, everything else, it was a pretty dull day otherwise. I was glad to see the blocks and LFGY and WPay, YMAT, the ones we talk about a lot, ULTY, blocks, WPay, LFGY, those are all on the understudies list, and I'm always pulling for those. So at least those had a decent day. All right, so that's that. Let's look at the yield max buffer. But yeah, then we can look at, if you guys want to look at something, I have the latest copy of the max factor, or whatever, the max factor. I have the latest rankings in a sortable list. We can take a look at them. But in any event, look at this in yield max land. Look over here. Snowy beat the parent, as did Dizzo, as did PyPy, as did Ybit, as did Infly, as did OARC, as did MSFO. This doesn't usually happen, but YMAG did. That happen. YMAG does a lot oftentimes, and Alti does oftentimes too. But they don't really have parents. But these other ones are directly, it's just single stocks. Coney's parent is Coinbase, and Coney was up more than Coinbase. That's hard to do. That doesn't usually happen. Great job. Whatever they're doing, I don't know if they're only selling partial contracts or, but look at this. AMDY was up more than AMD. Look at Misty up the same as Mr. Mr's 3.34. Misty is 3.34. That's incredible results. Ybit beating, Ybit beating its parent, which is just, which would be IBIT, I'm pretty sure. Or maybe BDO. I think I have BDO right there. I can see I have it BDO, but anyway. All right, well, that's that. What are you guys doing? Hey, VR's here. We got a lot of good new names in the Max Factor, thanks to VR, and also in others too. But I've branched out to include a lot of where is this? The new Max Factor. I branched out to include a lot of things other than covered calls. They could be covered calls too. But here's the most recent. We have HDLB, TDVI, MLPD, QDevo, GGN, PFIX, MDST, TDVI, WPay. WPay, obviously isn't new. I didn't realize it turned 3 months old and just had to add it. So that's where anyway, same thing with this one. This one should have been in here. BuyW's been around for years, or 3 years. Any event, so these are the ones. Now, these right here are too young to be on the list yet. IETH, AMYY. Oh, there's WPay. Okay, I missed it, I guess. ETTY. These will get on the list in January. MAYYSOLM. XRPM, ESK, EHY, 10, 11, 12. And then KSILV will be on at the end of the month. New Year's Eve, it looks like. We'll turn 3 months old. Hey, Summit's here. He's 7 minutes behind. Okay, did I see that Neos is launching a new fund, MLPI? Well, no, but that makes perfect sense. I think that's awesome. Neos just, they do such a good job. Does anyone have any of that NL, whatever their last one they added, which was the long and short plus income? I always forget. It was in LSI, I think, or NSLI. Anyway, it just didn't look to me like it was going to make a lot of money off yield. Hey, William's here. Let's see. All right, everyone's here. Everyone is here. You got a bunch of NL. Okay, well, what do you think? So is it going to be weekly or monthly? I guess I should know. I did the review. Anyway, you'll let us know when you start getting paid. I want to hear about the. I want to hear about the dividend. That's the big thing. So I think what I figure what I've been missing is. It looks like they're just trading one option, but that is true, but it's a different option every day, and I wasn't catching that. Somehow they're actively trading, and so who knows what their yield will be. I would say surely they're going to try to yield 12%. There's no way they're going to go to all this trouble, and 12 in this monthly, and not yield 10 or 12%. There's no way. I mean. But anyway, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. But I think they're rolling and realizing profits more often than I'm realizing. And in any event, all right. Well, all right. So let's go here. Let's go to the diversified divas. What I mean, look, I finally have this working where the weighted average return of the stocks. This is all the stocks that are in ULTY. And I mean, they have this HCA that was down at 1.5. Southern Copper was down 2.5. But other than that, Micron was off 2%. Other than that, things were in control, and they had a lot of ones in here that were up 2 or 3%. But anyway, it was a good day to be ULTY. Let's look and see what K Yield did. K Yield had Teradyne that was down 1.2, but other than that, they didn't even have anything down multiple percents. I mean, they had Howmet Aerospace down 1%. And other than that, they had a lot of stuff that just killed it. Vistra up 3%. Robinhood up 3.5%, Hims and Hers. Yeah, these guys, K Yield did a great job today capturing the upside of the companies that they had represented. All right, now let's see about blocks. They were on the right side of the HODL trade. In the FBTC, good job, guys. Cipher Mining's working out for them. I mean, they have one loser, CoreWeave, that's 4%. Other than that, and they also have Bitfarm. Other than that, it's small losers and nice winners. And their average stock was up 1.37, and they actually made 1.48. Their NAV did. So, which that's actually pretty good. Good day for those guys. And now let's look at ULTI. See what they have going on. They have Solar Edge that was up 3.2. They have Nano Energy that was up 3. They have Iron. It looks like Iron was up 3. TeraWulf. I mean, these guys obviously had a good day today. Everyone had a good day. Everything does all right when the market goes up. Just when the market goes down. All right, so you bought Synth today. Well, I mean, that's definitely an interesting concept. You could see. I mean, I'm sure you read all the white papers and stuff, but yeah, I love that concept. I love the concept of using leverage, but not to try to like, to not to try to buy a Lambo, but use leverage in retirement. You get the idea. I think or you aren't really using the leverage, but just availing yourself of the leverage that those leaps give you. And that's what that fund's doing. So yeah, if the worst happens and we do go into some kind of multi-year pullback, I mean, so you lose 12%, whatever. It's no big deal compared to what you would lose in the SPY or something. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, monthly. I should have known. I should have known. All right. Well, we can talk about whatever. You found another long short, HELS. All right. Well, let's go look at it. Let's get into FinViz and go look at it. But yeah, the max factor is going to get a lot better because I'm putting those. I mean, I realize the world doesn't revolve around covered call funds, and even in the covered call business, there's Round Hill's doing a different version. They're doing swaps, and it's there's all kinds of cool things out there. HELS. And I would put HEL. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's just listed, but it's not out, or it's not in FinViz yet. Or maybe there's a lot that are like ELS. Maybe it's like ELS. And okay, so no, that wasn't it. There's a lot that are like LS and it means long short, but no. Well, there's the Harbor long short. But yeah, there's some out there, but there's none out there to pay a yield. The paying the yield is the really interesting part. And I mean, and why not? It could be a really good idea because a long short fund is more steady, and being steady is what you want in covered call funds. So, I mean, but they aren't really selling options on the long short fund itself. They're just selling options on the index, which will do well as long as the market goes up. You guys get the thing. Yeah, I think the long short, I'm hoping the NEOS long short one will be a big hit. But I have no idea. But we'll let Marcus is going to let us know because he has him some NLSI. I mean, I was going to see how much assets AUM. It just says 1 million. This is probably a day behind or something. Or maybe not. I don't know. This is pretty new. Hey, Mayor, how are you doing out there? Other side of the world. NLSI has been steady. Well, there it is. I mean, we can see what the longs are. Newmont. I mean, I can hover over them and you can see the chart. General Motors, Airbnb, Centene, Regeneron, Progressive, Allstate. There's some good looking charts that looks like they're going up and to the right, every one of them. Those are their longs. But yeah, they have a short book and everything too. You just can't look at it in here. Yeah, the MLPI. I bet that'll be cool. I bet that will be cool. I think I found it right here. Is this it right here? NEOS MLP Energy and Infrastructure High Income ETF. Investment objective is generate high monthly income in a tax efficient manner with the potential for equity appreciation. But yeah, I think this is it. It says principal investment strategies. They're going to invest in a portfolio of MLPs and energy infrastructure companies, utilizing a call option strategy, providing monthly income, which primarily consists of selling calls on one or more of the ETF. Anyway, you guys get the idea. So they're going to sell some call options. But yeah, no, it sounds awesome. I mean, anything NEOS does, NEOS has a great reputation. NEOS has a great reputation. Yeah, that's good to know, Randy. Thanks for telling me that. And now we can compare. Yeah, we can. So is MLPX out already? I mean, there's so many out, I can't even keep up. But anyway, how about this idea? Run a scraper that scans the holdings of those long short funds or the diversified ones and find the common positions. Yeah, possibly. MLPI compares more with MLPD, which has call options. Okay, that's good to know, Randy. MLPX has no options, but MLPD has covered calls. Okay, well, I got you. Well, Mayor, there's hedge funds that are doing things like that, but they're using AI they're web scraping, and they're web scraping the SEC site. And what I've heard these guys are looking for is insider buys. Whenever an insider buys or files to have to sell shares, there's hedge funds that are looking at and scraping that like every 30 minutes and then making decisions accordingly on that. But yeah, your idea could work too. It just made me think of that other idea. Yeah, no, I get it. A lot of these things are all of the things we look at are just an option overlay of another strategy. I mean, or a lot of them are. So I mean, like this one you guys showed me the other day. I'm going to go look at it right here. I can't believe they have this one. Yeah, dogs, and it's the dogs at the Dow. And this is an old strategy, has nothing to do with option selling. It's value investing. But been around forever, but they're doing it and they're just doing options on top of it. I mean, it could work, I guess. I mean, you can see for year to date, it's up 8.9%. The past year, total return, it's 15%. I mean, it's not bad. Not bad at all. And it pays an 8.7% yield, but it has 15% total return. So its yield is totally supported by the NAV won't have any problems with numbers. If it can keep numbers like this up, I mean, paying 8 or 9 and returning, more. That's a recipe for a NAV that's steady or maybe even up and to the right a little bit. So anyway, yeah, no, they've just put an option overlay on top of everything, or on top of a lot of old strategies. All right, so you were looking at AMLP, and Marcus is saying you prefer a pure MLP. Yeah, I'm sure I'm sure by the time you add options, whenever you try to do everything all in one, I realize you don't always get the best results. And lots of these people wrap up different strategies and try to give you an all in one, but 7.8%. It only pays like quarterly. What the heck? Come on. You got to be kidding me. Quarterly. What the heck, Marcus? You got to be joking me. I'm just joking. I'm just joking. Quarterly be fine. I mean, I remember, that quarterly was, quarterly's fine. Just you plan accordingly. Anyway, I'm just joking. Yeah, so then you have AMLP, of course. Another quarterly payer, though. What the heck? What the heck? But no, I'm just joking. But look, it pays 8.4. 1 year total return's only 2.5. So it's going to have a little bit of NAV depletion, and you can see that, or a little bit of whatever you want to call it. It's going to have a little bit of it, or at least it has this year. Yeah, but dog, I was just using that. I wasn't endorsing dog, but it didn't look bad. And it's just where, they're just turning any old strategy into a new strategy. Now that with ETFs, they can just turn anything into strategies, You think all the MLPs are quarterly? Gosh darn it. That's a hard no for me then. I like weekly or sooner. Really, bi-weekly is not fast enough. Why weren't they supposed to go? Remember, they were supposed to do daily with QLDY. That's what it says. It says in the prospectus to support daily income or something. And but it didn't say they had to do that, and so they elected to do twice a week availability. But wouldn't that be crazy if it went daily? I mean, you'd have an ex-dividend day every day. But at some point though, it's just numbers on it. It's no one's taking money from one bank in Pittsburgh and moving it to a bank. It's just numbers on a sheet somewhere. So at the same time, I wonder someday soon if you'll just get paid instantly. Because it's just a credit. I mean, if they, or something, they can make it a lot. I'm sure it's very inefficient the way they're doing it now. I know, Brad. Marcus has it going on up there in Philly. That quarterly payment's no big deal. The property tax on Marcus's summer home is also due quarterly. So it actually works out good. It works out good for Marcus because he can, he can use those quarterly dividends to offset some of that. I'm just joking. Hey, what are you doing, Jackson? Yeah, NEOS will be monthly. DOGG does give diversity. It's kind of in the same way that JEPI does. JEPI isn't just a normal fund. They aren't just blindly buying the index and doing calls. They pick the biggest value stocks in the S&P 500. They pick like the 100. So the cheapest ones, the ones that are, value, whatever that means. It doesn't do great lots of times. I don't think it's been doing great lately, but there are some times when it does do great. So, but that's kind of the same way some of these funds are. They aren't just blindly doing stuff. They're doing more sophisticated strategies. Hey, SB, how are you doing there, bud? How are you doing there? But yeah, that DOGG. And this FT Vest is an old-timey company that's been around forever. Hey, Froggy. But yeah, look at this NAV just going straight sideways. But you look at the total return right here. This right here, return percent, this includes dividends. This over here, performance, just means NAV. I had to figure that out. But anyway, so you can look at like for the past year, the NAV's up 4.69. Total returns 15. Well, why is that? Well, it's because it's paying 8.7. You add 8.7 plus 4.69, and it's close to, you guys get the picture. But a fund like that a fund that has a 15% total return can support payments of 8.7%, and you'll have a NAV that, won't give you any problems. But yeah, the same way. So this, the point I was going with the JEP-I picking value stocks. This picks value stocks out of the Dow 30 Industrials. This is a way to pick the value stocks out of that index. And so right now, those stocks are Amgen, Verizon, Merck, McDonald's, Coca-Cola, Procter & Gamble, Cisco, Johnson & Johnson. So, yeah, it gives you a little bit, it's different. Every other fund is all in on NVIDIA and Palantir or whatever. So if you having some of this one gives you access to different parts of the economy, McDonald's, Coke, Amgen, a whole different deal. So anyway, did I see that State Street is coming in with their covered call sector? I thought they already had covered call sector ETFs. I have them on the Max Factor. If we're talking about, here's what I know of. Maybe it's something different. See, State Street Technology Select Sector. It's premium income, but it's where they take a sector and they do options on it. They're good. But yeah, they'll have 12 of them. So I did see that. Yeah. So get this. Check this out. See this right here. See right here where it says XLK, IXLE, IXLU, IXLB, IXLI, IX. That's all of them right there. They came out the last day of June. And so in any event, they're all in here. They're in they're eligible for the Max Factor, so, but yeah, heck yeah. I know all about it, Randy. I like them. I like the idea of them. All right, Mark gained back about 4 of his 16 drop. Yeah, that was brutal. The sell-off just out of the blue. Anyway, but yeah, today bounce. Is it the dead cat? Who knows? Maybe compare XLEI. Yeah. XLEI hasn't been around that long, but you mean to compare it to something like against an MLPI or whatever. Yeah. Yeah, I like complicated stuff. The more complicated, the better. HFGM, I've already checked that out. I know all about that. That is it's a hedge fund replication, but I'm trying to think what the catch is. Obviously, it's hedge fund because it says HF, but yeah, I was looking at that the other day. HFGM. I like complicated stuff. Yeah. Global macro, they switch based on different things. Yeah. I was checking this out. They came out at the perfect time. Look at that. They introduced the darn fund in April. This November was a pretty bad little pullback, and for these guys as well. They lost like 10% of their from top to bottom, they're down 10%, but still though, they're killing it. Yeah, they're up 26%. Yeah. I like that one. Was it trend following? Because they have some currency futures, gold. They have S&P and gold. They have the Nikkei. They have some whatever VWOB is. Vanguard Emerging Market Government Bond ETF. Oh, okay, I see. Yeah, no, it's a good looking fund. That is a good looking fund. Long short, yeah, with equity and futures. So yeah, they might be long like the yen, and then and short the euro or whatever. But yeah, it looks interesting. Looks interesting. Doesn't pay a yield. It's just all about growth, and it's been growing. Yeah, I hear you, Mark. That sucks. So what are you saying here, Randy? Triple QI matches double QA. As far as what goes, I mean, I really haven't. They're both in the max factor. Neither of them have ever given me any problems before. I'm trying to think. They both, rank, can get in the top 20 sometimes. So, I mean, it's been out for a year and a half, or they've been out together for a year and a half. It's, one's gone from 48 to 53 on NAV. One's gone from 51 to 54 on NAV. That's like $5, and that's like $3. It's very close. But double QA's done a little better on NAV, it looks like. But triple QI's paid a little bit better yield. So that would explain it. Yeah, but two good looking funds right there. Two good looking funds right there. Let's run. Who else is a good Q-based one? What about K triple Q? I mean, that's, that's fairly close also. I mean, it's a pretty good look for K triple Q. Really, it looks like K triple Q. Well, K triple Q was, when the market went down, K triple Q went down further and more, but the K triple Q has also moved up a little faster. When you zoom in on it, you can see the K triple Q did not protect capital near as well as triple QI, but is roaring upwards. Yeah, good point, Randy. He's saying it has less stock coverage. Yeah, TDAC. Okay. Well, yeah. Why didn't I think of TDAC? But yeah, TDAC's a good one. So, and TDAC actually beats it. It's only a quarter of a year though. But I mean, NAV's up on both of them. They're both paying a yield, whatever. They're both potentially good. Um, let's see, QDevo against Triple QI. QDevo spanking on Triple QI. Good job. Good job, QDevo. How did Y Best do today? I don't know. I wasn't watching it. Y Best? Oh, is this out already? Really? So this is out? I didn't realize this was out. All right. Well, it was. You can't really tell what it was because it doesn't have a previous day to go off of. It wasn't really anything. It was it's here. It's 25.19. No trades post market. Interesting. Good call there. Good call there. Yeah, I bet Tuggin will. I know there's lots. I wasn't just trying to find stuff that beats Triple QI. I bet I could think of other things that do too. But yeah, Tuggin's a good one. I bet we could also put GPIQ in there. I bet we could run some other stuff in there and beat them. But yeah, heck yeah, heck yes. And the good thing is, and because Triple QI is is a pretty good fund. So if you have a fund that'll beat that, that's a great benchmark. Because Triple QI, I mean, it may not be the best, but it's a blue chippy type fund. It's a very, they do a good job. Anyway, whatever. All right. So you were looking at that Y Best, Randy. Yeah, no, interesting. I didn't realize it was. I just didn't realize it was out already. But there it is right there. There it is right there. I wonder how many shares it did, or contracts, or what shares. It's shares. Well, I wonder what we're going to do overnight. And it's just, freaking BITK. It's not BITK's fault. I bought it a month ago. So I'm trying not to hold a grudge against BITK. I don't remember when I bought it. I bought it right here, 5th or 6th or something. Anyway, I thought I was buying the dip. All right, but it has a long way to go. But I do like the fact that it was up, that it bounced back today. It's uncapped tonight, so it should do well whenever the underlying. Here, let's see. But if the underlying goes down big at night, it's also uncapped, which means being capped helps when the market's going against you. You want to be capped, so it works against you. And that's what, and this thing's been getting hurt bad because on big gaps down, this thing, Anyway, this thing has a long way to go if it's going to come back. I mean, my gosh. All right, there's what the parent's done. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Okay, we have a report here, some extended hours trading on Y Best, Y Boost. Open to 25.12. Heck yes. Extended hours 25.69. Buy, up 50 cents or plus 2%. Heck yes. Well, I've got something else in there. We'll start looking at this every day. We'll start looking at it every day. We'll start watching a trade. All right, guys. So I'm gonna get out of here. What is it? Tuesday night, Tesla Tuesday. Yeah, it's Tesla Tuesday. So be back. Be back about 8 o'clock. We'll do Tesla Tuesday. You found the data in E-Trade. All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for being here. I appreciate it, and I will talk to you in a few hours. All right. See you.